The suspended governor of Rivers State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, has dismissed allegations by former head of service George Nwaeke, calling them false and politically driven. In a statement on X on Saturday, Fubara said that Nwaeke had been coerced into making baseless claims against him. Nwaeke, who resigned sometime last week, accused Fubara of fueling the Rivers State's political crisis. Now, here's what you should know.
Nwaeke accused Governor Fubara of massive financial mismanagement. He alleged Governor Fubara orchestrated the 2023 bombing of the Rivers State House of Assembly with assistance from the Chief of Staff, Edison, Ehie, to prevent an impeachment attempt. Nwaeke also claimed that Governor Fubara is working with militants to sabotage oil pipelines and other national assets in Rivers State. Governor Fubara strongly denied all the allegations, calling them false, politically motivated, and an attempt to disrupt the peace process initiated by President Bola Tinubu. Joining us this morning on Breakfast Central to discuss this is the head of ethics and compliance at Rivers State Bureau on Public Procurement and legal practitioner, Dr. Lekie Gima. Good morning to you, Dr. Gima, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central.
Hi, good morning.
Now, Dr. Gima, good morning to you. Dr. Gima, how significant are these very weighty allegations?
Actually, Professor Gima.
Okay, Professor Gima, please forgive us for that error. Now, Professor Gima, how significant are the allegations made by Dr. George Nwaeke against Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and what could be the motive behind them? The governor has since denied these allegations.
Actually, let me start by saying that I am not a politician. As you rightly introduced me, I am somebody who is a Rivers indigene, who is like every other of the 5 million plus almost Rivers, almost 6 million people residing in Rivers State. We are clamoring for peace. We hope that there will be peace. So I do not know the motives behind any of, not just the present personality you mentioned, but indeed any of the actors in the allegations they make. But I can, as a citizen of the state, talk about the aspects that concern us mainly in the state, which are, when you say something, the legal implications, how it is looked at legally, and what ramifications those seemingly legally implicating statements can put for the state. I can also say that these sort of things have to also deal with the other aspects, daily but very serious aspects of governance, such as procurement. By procurement, we are talking about continuous development of the state expenditures. And also, it also makes me think that this general socio-economic equilibrium of Rivers State is often at stake when this sort of political crisis simmers. So I'm not a politician, I'm not interested in the politics of it per se, but I can put thought to all this, especially also considering the fact that I'm a legal practitioner and I think I have some fairly sound knowledge of the law concerning some of these things. Yeah.
All right, so what exactly, just to come to, you say you're not a politician, we completely get that, but there have been some areas that have been highlighted, some key issues. For example, the governor denying what has been said, his wife coming out to state that her husband had been made to say all of that under duress, the husband coming out to say that he didn't say it under duress, and then Honorable Edison Ehie, who's also now granted an interview stating that there's an alternate motive for him to have said, for Mr. George to have said what he said, stating that he wasn't a content person and all that. So how can we make sense, help us make sense of all that has been happening in that regard?
Well, the truth is that Rivers State has been a boiling center for about 2 years now, and it's affecting all of us. If you look at me, I'm looking a bit tired just, from the psychological trauma of having to be talking about these things. But let me say that when you make allegations against somebody, the person has the right of reply, which is what has happened between what Dr. Nwaeke said and, of course, the governors, suspended governor, also replied. But I have to point out that in criminal matters, you are put to the highest test of proof. So we as lawyers advise that if you don't have the total facts concerning the allegations you are making, or if you don't have hard evidence, then don't bother to make it. Because if you make an allegation and you don't have serious evidence, it has a way of hitting the body politic.
When you say this, are you saying this in reference to the governor? Are you saying this in reference to Mr. Nwaeke, who said what he said? Or are you saying this in reference to?
I think in reference to allegations that were made, and even to any other person, any other circumstance. I say, if you don't have evidence, don't make serious allegations. And if you are making very serious allegations, then be ready at any time you are called upon to present those allegations. I think that it's elementary law, and my colleague at the bar will agree with me. I want to just point out something. Look at the recent incident of killing of hunting travelers, hunters who were traveling. It's also because sometimes when people make these allegations, they just make it based on what we call group hysteria, an emotional imbalance that occurs when people just want to be excitable in just blaming people, and finding excuses to make an allegation but they don't have the hard facts. And even when you have such hard facts, you shouldn't put it, in my humble opinion, all the time in the public domain. There are channels, especially the proper channels to pass those information, e.g., if you have them, to the security agent. I think we should avoid playing to the gallery when serious issues are involved. My take is that everybody in Rivers State is concerned so that the state doesn't implode. So we all need to be careful. That's it.
Thank you very much, Professor Lekie Gima, Head of Ethics and Compliance at Rivers State Bureau of Public Procurement. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Welcome.